Hello, 8th grade parents. My name is Laura Keither. I'm one of the counselors at the high school, and we are very, very excited to have your incoming freshmen join us next year. How this presentation is going to work is I will be doing the next couple slides, just doing some foundational information, overarching information that's going to be helpful for you moving on, and then a representative from each department at the high school is going to present some more specific things regarding each department that they are in. So you can kind of follow along some things that might be helpful for you to know about. If you are on the computer and you can click on the high school website, I would encourage you to check out our academic and career guide for the 22-23 school year. That's really the foundation of everything academic for you. So you're going to find in there the table of contents so you can decipher which page to go to. You can also then see in there a 4-year plan. You're going to get some Laude points information and then a complete description along with a visual flow chart of each department. So like I said, each department is going to do a great job presenting courses that are available for freshmen and then briefly what is available for your students moving on from those courses. But I think just really knowing that that academic and career guide or the course offering guide is available to you, and so you can dive more deeply in as you're having conversations with your students, is really valuable to know. If there's anything after this presentation that you have more questions about, need some clarifying on, feel free to reach out to the high school counselors. Our email addresses are going to be on one of the last pages on here. You can also call the high school counseling office at 920-779-7934 to get connected with us. Again, we're really excited that your freshmen are coming, and we can't wait to help support them in the next 4 years of school. As I mentioned, I'm Laura Keither, one of the high school counselors. I have students with the last name A through G and T. Mrs. Chevroman has students last name H through O, and Mrs. Winch has students last name P through Z except for T. Additional staff that we have in the high school counseling office, our admin assistant is Jennifer Van Asten, and our registrar is Julie Patry. Just want to remind you of some of the phenomenal mental health supports we have within our district. So these are available to students K-12. Opportunities that are available specifically for our high school students. Our E3 program does offer mental health screenings once a year for all students. Students can choose to opt out, but we really encourage, as part of our culture, that students are completing that survey. It is completely confidential, and if there are any concerns that come up, you are notified through our E3 screening coordinator, Crystal Ludwig. So we screen, make available screening for all of our students. In addition, we have mental health providers within our building through Catalpa Health. So if students need to meet with somebody, we have connected with them so that students don't need to leave school and also are just really functioning really well within our building. Those counselors are also still at the elementary and middle school, so you may already have an established relationship with them and continue your services up here at the high school. We also have partnered with NAMI of the Fox Valley for providing educational support for our students. So they're going into health classrooms, teaching kids about mental health. And then in addition, see, look at all these cool supports. In addition, we also have our Sources of Strength program. So it's a student-led organization talking about resiliency and taking stigma out of mental health concerns that maybe students are struggling with. So letting kids know that other kids are out there to help them and then helping provide support if they need it. So if you have any questions about our E3 program, feel free to reach out to myself, Brian Fletcher at the middle school. Crystal Ludwig is doing our screening, and any administrator is also available to help you with that. We encourage all of our students to get involved in some sort of club or activity while in high school. There's several reasons that we want them to do this. The first is that we want them to feel connected, to find kids who have similar interests and hobbies as them. And we have a whole listing of clubs and activities that they can get involved in on the high school website. Those are both athletics and clubs. So I think that there's something for everybody, and really important that, again, everybody gets involved in something. The other reason we want kids to get involved other than feeling connected is because it's really good for them to have something on their resume for college applications, for employers, for the military, whatever their pathway is and whatever they decide to do after high school, making sure that that's a really good resume builder and showing that they have time management skills, that they're able to keep their grades up and be involved, and also give back, work as a team, and come together. If you're wondering what that first day of school is going to look like for your incoming freshmen, we do have some pretty cool things planned for them. The first day of school actually has very little to do with academics. We call it freshman orientation, and on freshman orientation day, it is just freshmen and our upperclassmen link leaders who are going to be in the building along with teachers. So your student, as a heads up, your student is going to get a phone call from a link leader this summer. Typically we do that in August, and they are going to introduce themselves and they are going to be the link leader for your students' orientation group. So they're just going to say that they're really excited to see them. They can exchange numbers, so if there's any questions or concerns that maybe your freshman has moving forward, they can text an upperclassman, and I can assure you that these upperclassmen are the cream of the crop. We have some phenomenal kids, and they spend time over the summer prepping to get ready for your incoming students. On orientation day, students will be welcomed in. We're going to do some large group activities and break them down into groups. They will then go on tours of the building. They'll do some team building activities. They'll do lunch together as a group so nobody is left behind. And then they run through a really shortened, condensed schedule so that they can find their teachers. They learn about building-wide things within those shortened class schedules. And that entire time that we're doing a shortened schedule with bells, link leaders are in the halls helping kids find classes that maybe they can't get to. Then on day two, your student second day, the rest of the building will be running as normal. So we're just making sure your kids are getting in the building, that they are finding out where their classes are, getting really comfortable before we join everybody in. A piece of freshman orientation day is also a clubs and activities fair. So we will have representatives from all of our clubs and activities, and your student can get information and sign up to get future information. If you have any questions about orientation day, the coordinators are myself, Matt Stormer, Katie Peretti, and Carrie Morrison that you can reach out to. Just a friendly reminder that all students are required to complete a minimum of 36 hours of youth service learning. These hours would need to be logged and approved on the Transio website. The website is listed here. And if you have any questions about the website or hours, Katie Peretti at the high school is available to answer any questions for you. Students would need to complete a minimum of 9 hours each year in order to be eligible for Commons, Work Release, and Youth Apprenticeship. Something else to keep in mind is that if your student is interested in being competitive for college applications and scholarships their senior year, they may want to log more than the minimum 36 hours that's required for graduation. The framework of our days for next year are going to be starting and stopping very similar to what we have this year. This year we are running an 8:35 to a 3:35 start and stop time. Our days are made up of 4 84-minute class periods, so we're running block scheduling, and we also have in there a 30-minute daily extended learning time, or ELT. This is very similar to what the middle schoolers, I believe, have as win time. Student schedules will be running in either red, white, or straight block format. Red, white means that the classes are running every other day. We've owned that with our school colors of red and white, and if you have upperclassmen, you may have heard them talk about an A-B schedule. So this year we're running classes A-Day and B-Day. We have done some research and realized that there are things that we still really like about running classes every other day, so we are still offering that within some courses. So A-B is red, white. The other options for the way that classes can run is called straight block, and straight block means that courses are completed straight through until they are completed. So students would go to those classes every day. Classes that will be running straight block format are really wonderful because kids can advance more quickly through subject areas. So for example, if you have a student who's really excited about math, they can take a straight block class first semester, complete that course, and pick up then a second semester straight block math class. The reasoning that this is really great is because it allows students by the time they're upperclassmen to then get in some higher level courses. Those courses can oftentimes hold college credit, which will then help students prepare for college or whatever they plan on doing after high school a little bit more quickly. We really like straight block classes as well because it allows students to maybe only focus on 4 classes at one time. If a student is not running in a red and white day schedule, they will only have one class each block, and that will allow them to cut down on the things that they need to focus on at one time, so 4 classes. We also know that with an 84-minute class period, students are going to be provided work time within class supported by their specific teacher. So if they have any questions, they can have those questions answered by that specific teacher versus going to a study hall and maybe having a teacher, although it's probably pretty wonderful, may not know the specific content of their course or how to answer those questions. If you have any questions about red, white versus straight black courses or our daily schedule, please feel free to reach out to our administrators with any of those. Like I said, we have done some research. We have ran student committees, parent committees, teacher committees. We have consulted with lots of different districts and found that the red, white with a combination of straight black classes is the best option for our students. Again, feel free to reach out if you have any questions about what the format or the framework of our day looks like here. One thing we want to make sure that you're aware of is our Laude system. So the Laude system is going to be the graduation recognition system for your students. Laude points are received by students taking more rigorous or higher level classes, and every single department has identified Laude point courses within their department. So it's really leveling the playing field and recognizing all students for the hard work that they're doing. There's a complete listing of Laude courses within the Academic and Career Planning Guide. We will have those indicated for students so they can look at planning ahead. And again, this is how students will be recognized at graduation. So we will multiply the number of points that they have by their GPA if it's a 3.4 or higher, and that's how they will be recognized at their graduation ceremony. So making sure that students are taking rigorous courses within pathways, and then again, that complete listing of Laude courses is within our course offering guide or academic and career planning guide found on the high school website. The credits listed here are credits that your student is going to need to complete in order to meet graduation requirements for Hortonville High School. So we have 4 credits of English, 3 credits of math, 3 credits of science, 4 credits of social studies, a credit and a half of wellness or PE, or that is 3 Phi-Ed courses over the course of 3 years, a half credit of health, a half credit of a computer proficiency, half credit of personal finance, 1 credit of a fine art world language completed at some point in their 4 years here, 2 occupations credits, and then the rest are 7 credits of electives. Students also need to complete 36 hours of youth service learning and pass the civics test at some point during their high school career. We currently have that slotted for students to complete during their civics course their freshman year. If you want to dive more deeply into how these courses lay out over the course of 4 years, we do have that available in our academic and career planning guide found on the high school website underneath academics. I would encourage you to take a look at that because we do have a really nice visual of how courses can be laid out through the 4 years and what courses are currently available to meet those requirements for students. If you're viewing this in the PDF version, you can click on the yellow link, this link here, and we can take you right to that website. Before we dive really deeply into specific courses for your students next year, just wanted to let you know how we are going to be connecting with your middle schooler. We are going to be visiting GMS on January 12th. We'll be doing a presentation very similar to this. We'll also be talking to kids about what life is like at the high school, behavioral expectations, and what they can expect while they're up here. And then we'll be returning on January 6th to help students register for their classes. Same information will be presented to HMS students on January 13th, with us returning on January 28th. If your student is a virtual learner or they're not there that day, that's okay. We can work with you to make sure that we are getting their courses entered or have a presentation provided for them. If they're home and able to log in, we will have them join us virtually. Otherwise, like I said, please have them get connected with us at the high school, or their middle school counselor can also help provide that information. Again, students will be provided a very similar presentation to what we are going to be giving you so that you are all on the same page with information moving forward.
This slide provides an overview of both the Social Studies department and the English department. These are core classes that are required to be taken each and every year you are at Hortonville High School. As you can see, there are options, however, starting like your freshman year. You can choose either to take the regular Global Studies and Civics class or the integrated Global Studies and Civics class, where it is combined with your English class. And there are options with that as well, whether you want to take your English 9 regular, English 9 honors, or again, English 9 honors or regular that is integrated with social studies. We'll go into more details about what that's like on the next few slides, but just to preview then the later options. Your sophomore year, you can choose to take just regular world history or go for the AP advanced placement option, which has a possibility of college credit depending on whether you can excel in the test that's at the end of the year. For sophomores in English, you can choose whether to take English 10 or the honors option as well there. For junior year, social studies, it's US history with the option of AP. And for junior year for English, it is going to be either English 11 or AP language or the CAP English 101 option. For seniors, you get lots of options in social studies with cultural geography offered in A and B sections for both semesters, sociology, same thing with 1 and 2, psychology with 1 and 2, and AP psychology as well. AP government, either American or comparative, is an option that is given, and social problems in both semesters as well. For seniors in English, you could choose the senior English itself class, the written communications, which is articulated through FVTC, CAP communication 111, which is like a speech class, AP literature, or CAP English 101. So lots of options to consider for the future, but we're going to dive specifically into the option for freshmen with the next slides.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Acker, the English Department Chair, and want to cover with you today just a little bit about the difference between 9 or 9 honors for your freshman students. So English 9 offers an overview of a variety of different types of literature, poetry, short stories, plays, longer works, and so on. There is a strong emphasis on writing throughout a student's high school career, and English 9 especially focuses on both paragraph and essay writing as well as research writing. And then also in English 9 there are ample opportunities for students to improve their class participation and their presentation skills. English 9 Honors does cover the same basic skills as English 9, and the teachers work together to ensure students are getting all of the skills they need. However, the writing and the reading are chosen to accommodate the more advanced student skill levels. So students will be pushed a little bit to write in a more advanced way and to read works that can be a little bit more challenging at times. The goal is to prepare students for future AP and or CAP writing options when they get into their junior and senior years for English, and also to prepare students for classes that they may take after high school, whether that be going to technical school and college, so they're ready for the rigor that's involved in those areas. So both classes, 9 and 9 honors, will increase students' abilities in both reading and writing skills, with the honors level students being challenged a little bit more and on a more of a preparatory track for post-secondary education. The other option then is the integrated or English 9 Honors Integrated, which again will cover the same skills as both of the 9 classes just mentioned, but adds the integration with the social studies.
So to provide a little bit more detail about what this option is for freshman year, students again can sign up for an integrated class that combines their English and social studies classes together, but does still account for 2 sections of their class day. So it will account for social studies and English credits, but it allows them to enter into a community of learners that stays the same all year long. So other classes would be shuffled around at semester. Their second hour English class might become their 7th hour. They might change teachers. It'll be a different class composition with other classmates, versus our classes for integrated do stay the same the entire year. So if it's the first and second hour block, you stay in the first and second hour block, and you really get to know your teachers and your classmates and can kind of accelerate in that way. It does allow for the integration of the 2 curriculums. So there's increased relevance to reading and writing because you are directly applying those skills to your social studies content. And then students usually realize that that crosses over then into their other classrooms in the building, whether it's science class or it's their tech ed class. They'll see those connections too of those essential skills that English is really bringing forward for them. We do also have the opportunity, though, to do more project focused and really focusing on those soft skills of learning how to learn and achieving those additional skills while also covering our content, which is really helpful in this classroom and for our freshmen to take them throughout their entire high school career. We also have a blended classroom where we are one-to-one in terms of our computer use. We have a laptop cart that faces out of our room, but also desktop computers if students should choose to use those instead. And we use OneNote integrated into Canvas, really creating a seamless kind of blend of their online learning with their in-class learning and being able to utilize those resources in multiple areas. So to explain how integration works in the classroom, normally the English class and social studies class would teach in isolation reading and argumentation skills, and then they would each in those separate classrooms be assigning an assignment to practice those skills and apply them to their readings and to their activities. But in our case, it allows us to just do that all together and allow the students to be assessed by both their English and social studies teacher in these topic areas at the same time. So the English teacher will review close reading and annotation skills and then dive into argumentation and how we're going to practice claim evidence reasoning again. And then I would present maybe some background information about either Jared Diamond's guns, germs, and steel theory, or about a landmark Supreme Court case and introduce an article about how rights have changed since that landmark court case. And after that introduction, then the students would use the skills that they learned from their English teacher about close reading and argumentation, and they would apply those to those articles and then present the information in a pop-up debate or a pinwheel discussion. And we would be able to both assess them for those topics, for those skills, for that content all at once. So they're not doing those things in isolation in two different classrooms, but seeing how it all comes together in our room. The goal of the slide is to give you an opportunity to reflect on the benefits of the integrated class and see if this is an environment that your child would be really successful in. The first thing to review is the element of having blocked class hours. In a conventional 8-period day, we do still block our classes, like for example, first and second hour, so that the students are with us for those 85 minutes. In the AB style block that we've been doing this school year, it allows for us to see the students on both days, because if it's an odd day or an even day, they're still starting with us, for example, first and second hour. So that element for a freshman of having that community of learners and the same teacher that you're seeing every day, that consistency in your learning experience, can be a huge benefit for some students. But as you can see, the successful student would need to be pretty motivated to learn and enjoy directing his or her own learning, because we do have a lot of more opportunities for free work time and directing their own use of time in class because of those blocks. And seeing us every day, and that consistency can be a huge benefit for some students, and others like things changed up a little bit. The second topic, of course, is the integration of our subject areas, which is great with skills, but then students do need to enjoy working in small and large groups whenever possible. Normally we play with a lot of pod work, collaborative learning, and we look forward to getting back to that in a normal environment. And of course, the blended learning element that was discussed earlier. We do have the direct instruction in class, but then also those opportunities to use resources that are provided in Canvas, and really getting the opportunity to use those tools in the classroom, but then also having access to them outside of the classroom is really helpful. So if the integrated class sounds like a really good option for your child, please determine whether the English 9 standard class or the English 9 honors section would be the one you're interested in, and then make sure to choose that with the correct codes for the process and Skyward. Ms. Dayton Toll and myself, Ann Bray,
All right, and here you'll see the mathematics course map that we offer here at Hortonville High School. In order to graduate, you do need 3 credits of math total. And for typical students, those 3 become our main 3 of Algebra 1, Geometry, and Algebra 2. And then as you can see off of this course map here, that options start to open up after Algebra 2, and we'll dive into that as we proceed. Okay, so on this slide, you can see what we have for your course offerings coming in as a freshman if you are coming to us from an 8th grade math class. All right, so if you are currently taking an 8th grade math class, you have 2 options. The most typical option for many students is to do option 1, and that is to simply just sign up for Algebra 1. All right, so again, typical route would be for most students to just sign up for Algebra 1. Option 2 is out there for those students who would like to push themselves and trying to advance into some more math classes that we would offer in the future. So you can see with option 2 that students would sign up for Algebra 1 and then also sign up for a geometry course, whether that is regular geometry or honors geometry. But that would mean you are making the choice to double up on math classes for your freshman year, which means you'll be taking math for the entire year. Now, the difference between geometry and honors geometry, the honors course is much more rigorous. It is much faster paced and has much higher expectations towards work and work product. The content material is very similar, but again, just the rigor, the pacing, and then the overall expectations are higher, as that is worth some of our Loudy points in our school system. And it does have the honors tag for your transcript. There is no placement test to place you in any of these classes this year, whether that's Algebra 1, Geometry, or Honors Geometry. These are decisions that you can make on your own, but as a freshman, you do need to make sure that you take Algebra 1. Whether you choose to do option 2 and double up is a choice that is available to you. If you are coming to us from an algebra class, all right, so if you have taken algebra as an 8th grader, your options are a little bit different. Okay, since you've already met that algebra requirement, you would then move into option 1, which would be to sign up for either geometry or honors geometry, or option 2, where you could double up. All right, now your double up would be with the geometry course, either regular or honors, and then also the Algebra 2 course, either regular Algebra 2 or honors Algebra 2. All right, so again, the typical route, if you're coming from algebra, all right, and if you want to double up, you would do option 2. If you just want to get your 1 math class in for the year, you would do option 1. But you do need to make sure that if you took algebra as an 8th grader, you are taking geometry as a freshman. Now, again, the difference in the honors versus the regular courses is that rigor pacing, and expectations, as again, those are worth some Laude points and have that honors tag. A benefit to doing some doubling up in your math classes is that it does open up the gates for some of our advanced level courses after Algebra 2. All right, so it would open up our CAP courses, our AP courses, and gives you opportunities for some potential college credit while you are still in high school. So if doing that interests you, at some point you should look to double up if you have those wishes. All right, so now we might have some students coming to us having taken geometry or honors geometry as an 8th grader. Okay, if that is you, you do have the doors open now to 3 options. Option 1 would be for you to take Algebra 2 or Honors Algebra 2, just one class for the year. Option 2 would be to double up, and your double up could be with Algebra 2 or the honors version and pre-calculus or our pre-calculus TC, which is a college credit pre-calc class, which you can earn some credit towards your secondary education in. Option 3 is to sign up for Algebra 2 or Honors Algebra 2 and to sign up for AP Statistics. And then depending how well you go through your AP course there and how well the exam goes for you, you could also earn some college credit through the AP Statistics class. So you can see coming in, having taken geometry as an 8th grader, you should make sure that you do an Algebra 2 class, whether that's regular Algebra 2 or honors. And then if you'd like to double up, your likely double would either be with one of our 2 pre-calculus offerings. Pre-calculus TC, I guess you could consider our honors version of pre-calculus, or you could go with the AP stats option. All right, but that would also, again, continue to open those doors for furthering your math while you are still in high school and earning those college credits or college credit opportunities while you are here. Now, something to mention is that we do offer mathematic interventions courses, and those are elective credits. They do not count towards your math credits for graduation. All right, the 2 courses that we offer currently are Algebra Extended and Geometry Extended, and they both have a similar flow to them and similar descriptions. But for Algebra Extended, that must be taken concurrently with Algebra 1. So you are going to enroll, you would be enrolled in both Algebra 1 and Algebra Extended. The decision-making process for students who get selected for that class is a data-driven decision. We look at some state and national testing scores. We look at your current intervention status, whether you are receiving intervention as an 8th grader or not. And we will also take your 8th grade teacher recommendations into account there. Now, this is not a class that you will select on your own. Students are placed into this class automatically, and it will show up on Skyward for you throughout the registration process. Because students are automatically placed there, they will also be notified via a letter home, letting them know that they did qualify for this course. The main focuses of the Algebra Extended course are to pre-teach, reteach, and develop the skills that we were lacking from prior math classes. All right, so that is one of our mathematics intervention classes for our freshmen, and then that also kind of rolls into sophomore year when they would potentially take Geometry Extended. Not necessarily the same students, but it has the same type of flow to it, like I said. It is taken concurrently with geometry. The same data we looked at for Algebra Extended, we look at for Geometry Extended. Their current intervention status, teacher recommendations, again, from the algebra teacher then. Excuse me, the students are placed into that class automatically, just like they were in Algebra Extended. And then the focus on this one is very similar. It has the pre-teach, reteach skills development, but then in the Geometry Extended class, we also do a lot of focus on ACT preparation for their junior year. Once again, this is not something that students will sign up for themselves. This is something that they get placed in automatically, and these intervention classes do not count towards their math credits. These would count towards an elective credit for the graduation requirements. All right, so wrapping it up here again, we'll bring back that high school course map for our math offerings. The students typically would get their 3 credits required for graduation via Algebra 1, Geometry, and Algebra 2. Then you can see once those 3 courses are completed, it starts to open the doors to some of our upper level or advanced classes, and some of those classes do offer college credit offerings. All right, so if you see an AP tag on it, that would be one of our advanced placement courses that students would take, and then they would take the AP exam in the spring with the hopes of earning some college credit that would transfer to their institution of choice. We also have a college tech math class for those students who may potentially enroll at Fox Valley Tech. They can knock out some of their math credit early or in their high school career prior to going to FVTC. So that's really nice for a lot of students. And then you will also see that we have some CAP offerings, and then our pre-calculus TC. Pre-calculus TC is also one of our technical college credit offerings, and that college credit would transfer to many, if not most, universities statewide. And then, like I said before, we have this CAP/AP offering for our Calculus AB class. Other AP classes that we have are the AP Statistics. We have AP Calculus AB. That is part of that CAP class. You can take it as AP or as CAP. We also have a BC Calculus, which would be the second half of a calculus course from college. So you can see it looks kind of daunting to look at this course map, but students who are hoping to get to some of those AP, CAP, college tech classes should look to double up likely in their freshman or sophomore year. Maybe not freshmen so much because they're just trying to get everything flowing nicely for them, but at some point they should double up if they hope to get to these upper level AP CAP style courses. Hopefully this clears up. If there was any confusion, hopefully it does clear up some of that for you. If it does not and you still have some questions, definitely feel free to reach out to me and I will do my best to explain it further. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Scott Resch. I am one of 9 members at the Hortonville High School. I'm here to share some of the course offerings that freshmen can take next year. As an incoming freshman, students will have 2 choices to choose from. The first choice is Integrated Science. This is an introductory general science course that will fulfill a physical science credit for students as a graduation requirement. The second choice is Honors Biology. This is a Lowry class. It's a little bit more rigorous, so students should be motivated and self-starters. I think the content is doable for almost all students, but there is a piece or a component that students need to be able to do on their own. This class would fulfill the life science required for graduation. I also wanted to point out that if a student does take integrated science as a 9th grade class, it doesn't stop them from taking honors biology as a sophomore. So as a freshman, they take integrated science. Their sophomore year, they can now either choose between biology and honors biology. And so in some cases, students may not be ready as a freshman to take honors biology, but by the time they get to a sophomore, they are. So then I would recommend it at that time. If a student takes honors biology as a freshman, they now have some choices or some different choices as a sophomore. They can take chemistry or honors chemistry, physics, AP physics, human anatomy and physiology, and there are other classes to choose from. What would make the difference in terms of what classes they choose determines the rigor load that's involved with them. So obviously more advanced classes will require a lot more work and a lot more kind of self-motivation. So that will start to make their factors in terms of not only the classes they want to take, but the career path they plan on choosing. This slide is projecting a little bit into the future as students become juniors and seniors here at Hortonville High School. And we do have lots of offerings, and I'm mentioning it now because sometimes career planning or class planning can make all the difference in terms of getting to your goals when you want to get there. But some of the class choices, as you see on the screen, are AP Biology, AP Chemistry, AP Physics 1 and 2. We do have an AP Environmental Science. we have other advanced courses like human anatomy, physiology, medical terminology. And really, the class that a student takes depends on their interest when it starts getting to that 11th and 12th grade. And again, the rigor level will obviously vary from an AP class to a non-AP type class. So, as students go through their high school career, they can, come in contact with obviously their counselors and some of the science teachers to get a better perspective. But starting off as a freshman may make the determinations on how soon you can get to some of these more rigorous classes. So this slide is kind of showing some possible pathways that a student can take throughout their career. So along the top are just some general categories or maybe possible pathways, and I'm going to go through those. The trades technical school recommendation pathway. So this is maybe someone that's going as to be a plumber or an electrician or just going to Fox Valley Tech in general. Maybe someone's going into the health career pathway or health career science from CNA, nursing, a vet program, a doctor program, things like that. Just in the science field in general. So you have a strong interest in biology or chemistry and you're going to go in a pathway that way. This is kind of some of the classes that you might want to take. Maybe you're going on to a four-year school, but it has nothing to do with science. Again, just a general pathway of what possible classes you could take. And then lastly, these are for like our non-science or non-technical or non-college bound kids. You're just kind of leaving high school just to get the diploma and moving into the workforce. And those are some possible categories there. But I'll just pick one of them here, like the health science careers. We typically would start you off as an honors biology. And then from there, it kind of shows some of our classes that we have. So take a moment to pause, read through those pathways just to get a feel for where your starting point is. You'll notice that in your honors biology is your health career pathways or science career, and then the remainder one are more of an integrated approach. So just again, it's going to be specific for the individual student and kind of where they want to go with their future.
Health is not required for freshman students. However, you will need a half of credit of health for graduation. This is a state requirement. Majority of our students at the high school will take health their sophomore year. To complete your physical education requirements for the high school, you will need 1.5 credits. As a freshman, you will either take PE 1, Athletic Performance 9, or Weight Training 1. Physical Education 1 is your standard Phy-Ed class, playing different sports and activities. Athletic Performance 9 is suited for the athletes that are in co-curriculars in a little bit more of an advanced weight training class, and Weight Training 1 is a beginning course on weight training to help you develop in that area. Just to refresh your possibilities for freshman physical education, you may take Phy-Ed 1, Weight Training 1, or Athletic Performance 9. Phy-Ed 1 is your standard Phy-Ed class. Weight Training 1 is an introduction to weight training, and Athletic Performance 9 is suited towards the athlete that is looking for a little harder workout.
Hello everyone, this is Mr. Yeager from the Business Department, and I am here to inform you of some of the course offerings that we have in the Business Department here at Hortonville High School. First of all, as a freshman, the freshmen are required to take either Office for the 21st Century or Computer Applications. The difference between the two courses is Office for the 21st Century is a little bit more of an advanced course. As you can see on the slide, you will get the opportunity to possibly be Microsoft certified in Word, Excel, and PowerPoint, and there is a computer science component to that course. Again, it goes a little more in depth and a little more detailed than computer applications, which is the other option that freshmen can take. It covers the Word basic stuff, and there is also a computer science component to that course as well. Freshmen also have the opportunity to take a few business electives if they choose. The courses that we offer in the business department start with Multimedia and Web Design. This is a semester course that covers the introduction to digital media. We will go over Adobe products, some HTML programming in web design, and some basic computer programming. Again, that's in Multimedia and Web Design. Intro to Business is a course for students that might be interested in business careers. We just cover basic business concepts to try to get students to see what they might be interested in. Keyboarding is a course that is designed for students that struggle with typing. Typing is a skill that they're going to need and throughout high school and in their life, and so if they are typing below 25 words per minute, we recommend that they try keyboarding. And finally, Microsoft Management is a very advanced Microsoft Office class that is available. This is in addition to computer applications or Office for the 21st century. Intro to Computer Programming is also a course that freshmen can take. As you can see here, it's a basic computer programming class that will allow you to program some games and have some fun with that. There really has been a push from the state to try to encourage kids to get into programming and computer sciences. So if you think that your son or daughter has any interest in this, this is a great way to start and explore what programming is all about. Here's a look at the computer science class options that you have throughout high school. In the next 3 slides, you'll see all of the courses that the business department offers throughout high school. We basically have 3 branches. We have our computer courses, we have our business courses, and we have our marketing courses that have a number of different offerings, including some classes that the students can take to get credit at Fox Valley Tech or other institutions. We also offer our DECA program, which is our marketing club, which competes and is always a good thing to put on those college applications and scholarship applications. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact guidance or any of the business teachers. We'd be more than happy to answer any questions that you have. Thanks.
In the Family Consumer Science department, there are 5 classes that a freshman can take. So the first one is called Fcs Quest. This class is an activity-based course that is an introduction to all of the other classes that we offer. So if you are a student that's not really sure what you want to do and you just want a little bit of everything, the projects in this class are based on health careers, culinary arts, you do a little bit of sewing, working with children, and then working with students with special needs. So this class is a great intro class for freshmen if you're really not sure what you want, or you really want just a little bit of everything throughout the class. You also talk about career possibilities, and then you also talk about other courses that you can take within the Family Consumer Science department. Intro to Culinary Arts is by far the most requested course for freshmen in our department. So in this class, students acquire the knowledge and skills necessary to be confident in the kitchen. They include things like safety and sanitation, knife skills, proper measuring techniques. We look at culinary terminology, we understand kitchen equipment, and then we do basic kitchen math like converting and equivalents. Students also will be in lab, and those labs, a lot of them are culinary competitions, so the class is gamified. So throughout the class, you are always trying to have the most amount of points and win the most amount of competitions. If you are able to take Intro to Culinary in the fall, you also have the opportunity to take Culinary Arts in the spring. So this class is also gamified. This class focuses on breakfast food, sandwiches, soups, eggs, herbs and spices, potatoes, grains, and pasta. And this class, the gamification is U.S. Regional cuisine, and your food trucks travel across the United States, understanding the different foods that are common in those regions. So these two classes are open to freshmen, but obviously you need to take the intro class before you can take culinary arts. But again, by far the most requested classes that we have in our department. So the last two classes that we have to offer freshmen are Child Development and Health Careers. Child Development is a dual credit course through Fox Valley Technical College that introduces students to the development of young children between the ages of 3 and 10. There are many child observations. We do go over to Hortonville Elementary School, and some of those observations are done on your own. And we also talk about careers, be it in education, so early childhood education, elementary education, but we also talk about careers related to children. So that might be something like child psychology or speech and language development. So the child development pathway itself has a lot of dual credit courses, and child development is a prerequisite to any of those other courses. So it is a good class to get and take during your freshman year. Health Careers exposes students to a variety of health-related careers based on the 5 health science pathways. So a lot of the class is bringing in speakers, learning about their careers and what they do, what does their day-to-day job look like, and then students are required to complete a 3-hour job shadow in a healthcare career that is of interest to them. So I just went over the courses that are open to freshmen, but we also like to show you the other courses that are available to you as you are a sophomore, junior, or a senior. So the Child Development, the Intro to Culinary Arts, and Health Careers are all prerequisites to other courses. So that is why it's really important to take those prerequisites early on in your high school career. So in the early childhood pathway, we have 3 additional courses: health science, or health, safety, nutrition, infant and toddler development, and foundations of early childhood education. Those 3 courses are also 3 credits each. They transfer to Fox Valley Technical College, as well as other technical college and some universities. So really important to take the child development first if you're interested in those other courses. The CAP Education 201 course is a CAP course through UW-Oshkosh. There is a fee to that course if you choose to take it for CAP credit. But again, if you're interested in working with children, that's a great capstone class during your senior year. In the Hospitality and Tourism pathway, we also have a Baking and Pastry Arts course, and then we also have a Culinary Catering class, which is more of mass quantity cooking. So those 2 classes are great if you're interested in understanding more skill in that culinary pathway itself. And then health science, we have the last course is the nursing assistant. That course is a partnership between Hortonville High School and Fox Valley Technical College. There is a fee to that course and an application process, but if you're really interested in becoming a nurse, if you're really interested in some other health science pathway career that is working with people, this is a great course to take during high school. So again, here are some additional courses that you can take. We want you to see what is available to you after so that you can make those requests as freshmen or sophomores with those other prerequisites.
All right, the first pathway within the technology education department that we like to refer to as our trades pathway. Trades pathway would be good for a student that just wants to learn how to build things, whether that be in a woodworking course or construction course, screen printing, graphic design, welding and machining. This would be just a good pathway for those types of students. Where a student would start would be within the Introduction to Technology course. During that class, students will rotate through 4 different teachers, so they'll get to meet the majority of the teachers in the department. And they'll go through and learn 1 quarter with like drafting using 3D modeling software such as Inventor,
Revit or 2D CAD software. They'll go through a woodworking course that'll kind of give them a little bit more of an idea of what their Woods 1 and Construction 1 classes might look like. They'll go through another quarter where they'll kind of go through some graphic design, Adobe type software, do some screen printing with some t-shirts, and then another quarter will be in more of the sheet metal, welding, machining type pathway that you're seeing all the way on the right hand side there. So that'd be where a student would start, and as they progress through our program, they have lots of opportunities to get dual credit, mostly at Fox Valley Tech, in areas such as welding, woodworking with our furniture and cabinet making course. DC Fundamentals is more of our electricity electronics type stuff, and then there's currently some opportunities to get credit at NWTC as well through our digital photography class. So yeah, lots to offer. Again, probably more for those students that want to just learn how to build stuff. The second part of our pathway is what we refer to as the engineering pathway. So for students that are really interested in working with their hands and learning how to build things, they don't mind getting their hands dirty, those types of students would probably be really benefit from our trades pathway type classes, whereas our engineering pathway is probably more geared for students that are interested in solving problems using technology, science, math, things like that. Maybe they like to learn a little bit more about robotics and computer programming. Things like that would probably be more geared for students who like to do that. This pathway, you would start with the Introduction to Engineering and Design course as early as your freshman year. And then you would make your way through the Principles of Engineering, Computer Integrated Manufacturing, and Engineering Design and Development courses. These courses, the majority of them, you have some dual credit opportunities with Milwaukee School of Engineering, or MSOE, depending on how the student does in the class and how the student does with an end of course assessment. However, there are some other technical colleges and universities that have started accepting these credits and allowing students to use them as electives or perhaps substitutes for other classes within engineering programs. I'll be honest, I'm not sure how far this reaches anymore. I've just started to see more of it pop up over the years between Fox Valley Tech, UW Oshkosh, UW Green Bay. So it'd be one of those things where as your student gets closer to like that senior year and they're starting to look at some potential post-secondary options, where I would certainly ask colleges what if you can do anything with those credits.
Hi, I'm Terry Seinert, one of the two art teachers here at the high school. I'm going to talk to you tonight a little bit about our art program and what we have to offer your soon-to-be freshman student at our high school. So it all starts with Art 1 at the high school. It's open to all freshmen, and Art 1 is a semester-long class and will fulfill one semester of the fine art requirement. This same class is offered both first semester or second semester. It provides skill building along with idea developing and understanding of design and how it is used in our world and everything visual. Art 1 will enrich and empower students' art skills while helping to strengthen their understanding of visual design. Understanding and applying visual design will help students in other classes offered here at the high school, such as graphic arts, culinary arts, computer, and web design. Art 1. So in this picture, I have a few examples of some of the early projects done in the semester by former students in Art 1. Just to give you a little idea, we do some other graphic design and computer work in addition to this type of work, the hand-generated work that you're seeing. If students take Art 1 first semester, second semester they can take an additional art class. So painting, drawing, ceramics, and so forth are classes available to them as an option after first semester and beyond. In the picture here, you're seeing some examples of the Fundamental Drawing 1 class. And here are some painting examples from former students. And we also have fibers, art metals, printmaking. And these are just a few of the class offerings that we have. The art department also offers 3 higher level college credit AP classes. So as your students progress in years, they can take college credit in 2D art, 3D art, or drawing. We also have a competitive art team that's organized through Wisconsin Art Education Association called the Visual Arts Classic, and we compete both at state and regional levels. These are just some of the experiences we offer here at Hortonville High School in the art department. In addition, any of these other classes that are semester long, like art metals, ceramics, and so forth, all would provide the other half of the fine art requirement for high school.
Hi, I'm Greg Fortin, Director of Bands at Hortonville High School and the Music Department Chairman for our school district. I would like to congratulate the music students and the teachers of the middle schools for all their hard work and dedication. Because of the hard work that they've already done, we are able to provide many opportunities for them to grow, have fun, make lifelong friends at many grade levels, and become music ambassadors for our community and the state of Wisconsin. Freshman vocal students are enrolled into a choir called Polar Voices. Here they will sing with students from grades 9 through 12. Their second year in choir, they will have an opportunity to audition for the Arctic Singers to perform advanced vocal selections. Every year, they can audition to be part of the high school musical, show choir, a cappella choir, and many other vocal opportunities. Freshman Band offers the students from Greenville and Hortonville their first opportunity to perform together. They are also part of a 200-plus Hortonville High School Polar Bear Marching Band, which performs for all home football games as well as travels to Washington, D.C. and Hawaii. Starting their sophomore year, students perform in a concert band or audition for a position in the Advanced Wind Ensemble. In addition to these curricular classes, students have over 50 performance opportunities throughout the year, including opening day at the State Fair, the Appleton Christmas Parade, pep band at all home basketball games, jazz festivals, as well as being part of many performing groups such as the Jazz Ensemble, the Brass Ensemble, the Woodwind Ensemble, the Percussion Ensemble, Ukulele Choir, Clarinet Choir, Flute Choir, and many, many more. We encourage every incoming freshman to join our musical family and participate in the many positive life-changing experiences. The places you'll go, the people you'll meet, and the memories you'll make are just around the corner. We hope you'll continue your musical journey throughout high school and beyond.
Hello, I'm Senora Seichter. I'm the World Languages Department Chair at Hortonville High School, and I'm here to tell you a little bit about world languages, specifically Spanish and German, in the high school. Are you interested in any of these careers? Technology, medicine, healthcare, government, business, marketing, law, teaching, armed forces, communications, industry, social services, the list goes on. If you are, continue your study of a world language. Some people think you only need 2 years of a world language. Don't stop there. By now, you've probably been taking Spanish or German for many years. Keep going. You should continue your study of Spanish or German so that you can keep using it. Develop proficiency that you can use for the rest of your life, in your personal life or in your professional life. So what are some of the advantages? Some of the career advantages of taking a world language. Look at the left-hand side here. More and more businesses work closely with companies in other countries, and proficiency in a second language can make your resume more appealing than other candidates. You can command a higher salary if you know a second language. It can increase your networking skills. You can appeal to global companies. You can increase your career growth opportunities. Bill Gates a few years ago said, "I feel pretty stupid that I don't know any foreign languages." Think about that. On the right-hand side, you see some of the academic advantages. Studying a second language can improve memory and the ability to multitask, improve your skills and grades in math and English, increase your understanding of the world, boost self-confidence and creativity, improve entrance exam scores. You can impress college admissions personnel. One director of admissions said, "The more years in one language, the better. It shows commitment and the desire for proficiency." Okay, Texas Christian University. Depth and mastery are important in the serious study of any discipline. The student who is willing to do more than the minimum is always more appealing. Don't just take 1 or 2 years, but keep going. And as I mentioned earlier, you want to develop proficiency that you can actually use the language as you continue on in life. Now let's look at the flowchart of Spanish and German classes that you can take in the high school. If you are currently in 8th grade Spanish, you should sign up for Spanish 3 next year. If you are currently in 8th grade German, you should sign up for German 3. Basically, we recommend that you continue with the language that you've been studying so far. For instance, many of you have been taking German, for many years, continue in German. Same goes for Spanish. If you've been taking Spanish since 2nd grade, you definitely have an advantage in continuing in Spanish in the high school, and you can go very far with the language. As a freshman, you begin with Spanish 3, By the time you are a senior, you will be taking or earning college credits. Those are the CAP courses that you see listed. There's more information about CAP Spanish classes and CAP German classes on the bottom right-hand side of the slide. If, for some reason, you would like to change the language that you're studying, you have a choice. You can either take Spanish 1, if you're starting with a new language, or you could take German 1, or you see for each one, there is another course called Accelerated Spanish 1 or Accelerated German 1. Those are explained in the course description book, and basically it's a little bit more intensive language study where the accelerated courses meet every day for 90 minutes, and one semester is the equivalent of one level. So the idea is that you could take Accelerated Spanish 1 first semester and Accelerated Spanish 2 second semester to help you get a head start, so to speak, or accelerate your learning of a language so that you can go further over the course of your high school education. Finally, if you're not exactly sure, maybe you came into our district midstream, so to speak, and you're not quite sure what level you should take, maybe you're new to our district, it is recommended, if you're not sure, talk to your guidance counselor or see one of the language teachers. Hope to see you next year in Spanish or German. I want to thank you for taking time out of your day to watch this presentation. Hopefully it helped to answer some questions for you about what high school is like and what courses are needed for your incoming freshmen. If there's any questions that you have, you can reach out to a multitude of people. Certainly checking in with your student's future high school counselor. You can email us or you can give us a phone call at the counseling office. You can also touch base with any of the presenters from this presentation if you have specific questions about their courses. They might be able to answer those more specifically. We look forward to your student coming into the high school. We hope that that is a smooth transition, and if there's anything that we can do, please feel free to reach out.